Kyros the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. The disfavoured warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her legion. So this is Aurora, and she's with the disfavoured. Okay. Conversations involve you, another character, and sometimes additional parties like bystanders or companions who may interject. The choices you make change how the story develops and will build a reputation for your character over time. People in the world will learn of your reputations, good and bad, and respond accordingly. Your character's attributes, skills, history, and gender, as well as decisions you made in the conquest, may all open up options for you in the dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to the other responses, but give you a wider variety of choices to select from. I suddenly feel like I'm reading out, like, an airplane guide. You know what I'm talking about, the whole demonstration. Yes, flight demonstration. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. Each character who speaks to you will display a banner beneath their portrait. These banners indicate which faction the character is allied with, so again, that's disfavoured. The tooltip on these banners will provide details about how that faction feels about you. So, the disfavoured don't particularly favour me or don't particularly hate me. You'll often see the names of important characters and locations displayed in a gold text colour. The tooltips on these glossary entries provide you with important information about the world. Yeah, I do appreciate that. That's pretty cool. We know about Kyros. We know slightly about the disfavoured, I think. I read a little bit about them the last time. They spearheaded the conquest of the Younger Realms, finding themselves always outnumbered but never outclassed. Led by the steadfast and dutiful Graven Ash, whom they follow with obsessive devotion, they are committed to imposing their interpretation of order upon the rule. And we're stopping now. Alright. A pleasure to see you again, Fatebinder. You were with us since before the first official days of the conquest, and so it's fitting you're here now in what I hope is the last gasp of resistance from these backwards tiersmen. So we gained favour with the disfavoured. Here's hoping you can convince the Archons to settle on a plan to crush the Oathbreakers. That is why you're here, right? So our options right now are glare silently, or I'm in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archons. 3. I come bearing an edict of Kyros, or soldiers will complete their task or die. Or, ooh, kitty! Or, well, requirement not met for lore 20. What do I want to do here? I think we'll go with option 3. So I come bearing an edict. The edict is levelled against us. Her eyes widen with fear. Her posture slackens. But the Scarlet Chorus prevents us from taking action. Why would the Overlord punish both of... She clears her throat with a sigh. Forgive me. It's not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. The delay reflects poorly on all of us. Ooh, I could go subterfuge here. Your first instinct is to blame the Scarlet Chorus. No wonder Kyros resorts to an edict to enforce order. So the Scarlet Chorus is little more than a gang of thugs and their captive slaves. Rather than organised under commissioned officers, the Chorus followed a hierarchy seemingly ruled by whoever has the bravado to command and defend their position. At the head of this chaotic pecking order, the Archon of Secrets, better known as the Voices in the Rat, treats the Scarlet Chorus... We can read more, but I think we more or less get the message here. Alright, you know what? If we all follow Kyros' will and stop the insurrection, no harm will come to any of us. We've gained favour again. If following orders and killing the locals will save our lives, you don't have to tell me twice. And I sure hope you don't have to tell the Archons twice either. She looks at you with a nervous smile. Still, this is all coming from the Firestarter. The Fatebinder that made fire bubble up from the soil and reduced the Vilem Citadel to ash. So you'll forgive me if I'm still terrified all the same. How dare you? Well, you've travelled a long way. I won't keep you any further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you. Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers through the mountains to gather help from outside the valley. She points over to the collapsed path by which you arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. So the Oathbreakers, in honour of the Vendrian Guard, reneging? I know English. On the surrender of 429 soldiers in both the Disfavoured and Scarlet Chorus now refer to these tiersmen as Oathbreakers. It is perhaps one of the few points of agreement between the Disfavoured and Scarlet Chorus. Alright, I'm ready. For the glory of Kyros! Alright, game paused. So it's Judge's Day, 18, Span of Swords. Tyranny uses a pausable real-time combat system. Because you'll often manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders and resume real-time to see the orders play out. Options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met, e.g. the start of combat. Alright, so spacebar obviously pauses on pauses. Combat, your character can always perform basic attacks using their equipped weapon or their fists if fighting unarmed. Characters also have special abilities and spells they can use in combat. When a character is selected, their ability bar displays their hotkeyed abilities. As new abilities and spells are gained, they are automatically added to the ability bar. Alright, so that's that down here. Apologies that I didn't go through this little bit off camera so that I could explain myself how it happens, but I like to think that I'm just showing off the tutorial-ish aspects of the game right now. All of your character's abilities and spells can be accessed by selecting the category icon at the bottom of the selected frame. So, down here. Abilities... Where was I? Abilities are grouped into talent, spells, combo abilities, artifact abilities, reputation abilities, and statuses. Category icons for weapon stats and quick items follow. Wait. Oh no! Where am I going? Okay. I know what I'm doing. I totally know what I'm doing. Okay. Right. To use an ability, left click on the ability icon or press the hotkey corresponding to its location on the ability bar. Your cursor will change to indicate whether your mouse is over a valid target for the ability. So yeah, basic stuff here. All characters in the game, friend and foe, have 5 primary defences against attacks: parry, dodge, endurance, will, and magic. These defences are based on the character's attributes, equipped items, and other effects. A character's accuracy is based on their skill with the type of weapon they're wielding. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defences when an attack is made to determine how likely it is that the attack will hit. So 4 possible results from any attack: hit, crit hit, graze, and miss. Oh, I thought there was going to be another page there. I just decided to skip and I was like, yeah, sure, it's fine. So do we want to thrust at this person? Because I'm a mature little girl.
Hi.
Oh no, did it? Yeah, I have. Okay. Like, have I pressed the right key here on my short key? Because there's a timer. I wanna... What's this one again? Palm Strike, that's the one we're using. Oh, wow, okay. There's one... That's one down. Let's check further along the path for more. No, come back, I was reading your dialogue.
I got it.
What have you found? Oh, hello. Avalanche has his blocked. Think you could fit through the rubble? Yeah, I'm squeeze through the gap or move the boulder. I think we can move the boulder. Oh. Oh. I'll head back to my post to ensure no one else makes it out of the valley. I mean, that was one way to deal with it, I guess. I want to palm strike it. In fact, I should probably pause. Okay. Let's see. You know what? We'll go for you, because you're taking that person on.
Heads up! We have company!
You do have company. Thank you for noticing. Ooh. You're supposed to be focusing on that person.
Die!
Well, they're dead now. You die, please, and thank you. Which one's for again? Warrior's Respite. Stand your ground in the face of defeat. During this time, you will regenerate health rapidly, but your damage is significantly reduced. Alright. Well, now I know. Boop. I booped too early. Isn't that always the way? I'm just going to spam my abilities at you whenever I can. Hello. Hello. Stone shields. Don't bother with me. Go down the pass. Drastus. The soldier clutches his gut and winces. You can see a hint of entrails between his fingers. You're winded and it's not trivial. He laughs through clenched teeth. This? But a scratch. I've seen twice his worst 10 times over. He doubles over in pain, gagging and shivering. Okay, if you'll let me help. I said I'm fine! The soldier moans and shakes his head. Graven Ash protects. You go on and help the others. Okay, okay. I mean, I was planning on killing you. Like, I thought that was how I was gonna help. Did I miss anything from you up here? I did. Hold on, I need to run back and loot the body. Don't mind me. Take all. Alright, back down here. You had nothing. You're useless. So are you. Okay, so we have a lot of people tied up here. Ooh. And dead. I should really look what I'm taking, but I can't help it. I just really love loot. Oh! Hi! Alright. Just checking out to see what was going on.
Try and catch me, worm.
So, this is a versus with the Scarlet Chorus. Try and catch me, worm! A young Scarlet Fury weaves around the Vendrian Guard attackers, avoiding their weapons with fluid grace. She nods to acknowledge you. Sun Soldier. A breathless enemy soldier passes a glance to her countryman. This one's crazy! Too much lead in their water! We should cut our losses and turn back!
Fate Finder. Here at last. Care to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery?
She nods to the armed soldiers bearing down on her. You know what? Save something for me. For the Realm of Apex, charge! Realm of Apex, charge! The Vendrian Guard level their weapons and advance. Alright, who am I taking on here? No, just these two? You as well. Sun Soldier. Barely injured. Uninjured. Okie doke. Right. So I'm controlling two of them now. I just want to use all my special abilities. Because I'm good at games.
I see you there. On it.
That one's down. Dude.
Will do.
I don't like you. Blood-soaked stone. Coordinate with verse to knock your target prone, then follow up with a strong bleeding attack. How does this work? Oh, oh, oh. Oh!
Flawless.
Okay. That looked cool!
I got it.
Quest updated.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
The fighter surveys the fresh corpses and nods with satisfaction.
I'm Verse, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian Guard we killed didn't come alone.
You fight like a storm. What's your role in the army?
A Scarlet Fury, one of the elite killers of our ignoble gang. You'll see more than a few of us around camp, but don't let that fool you. We're a rare breed. Most of the soldiers in the Scarlet Chorus are little more than farmers and children armed with rusted forks. Makes them easier to control. The voices of Nerat called his best fighters to this siege. There must be something important about Vendrian's well, though don't ask me what. The Archon isn't in the habit of spilling secrets.
Why are the Vendrian Guard attacking now?
My guess? The Vendrian Guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That, or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall.
Well, you know what? I'm ready if you are.
Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
Look, I'm way ahead of you, Verse.
No reason to pity the fallen. Before long, we might wish we'd joined them here. But at least we'll enjoy heavy pockets and warm toes. For the voices of Nerat!
It's making me feel like a douche that I chose to loot it already, but still. So what kind of things have we got here? Sun Soldier's Javelin, a Scarlet Fury Helm, Lesser Healing Potion. Okay. I'll just close the companion thing. I mean, maybe I should have read it, I don't know. Spell Scrolls. You've discovered a scroll that contains the image for a sigil of magic. If a member of your party has a high enough lore skill, you can learn a sigil and use it to craft spells. If you meet the lore requirement for this scroll, right-click on the scroll icon and then click on the Learn button at the bottom of the inspection interface. Where? Alright. So this is my quest log. Biography. Ooh. Oh my gosh! I want to read out my biography! Alright. This is how we're going to be ending this part, I think, with me reading the biography. I spent my youth fighting to survive the blood-soaked sand of the proving grounds. The most I ever would have seen of Tunon's court was a chopping block just prior to a headsman's axe. But somehow I managed to set myself apart as a determined killer. Is mine the sort of talent Tunon seeks in these fate binders? The fact that I'm here and writing my name for the first time suggests as much. But I wonder what Tunon sees that I'm missing. Conquest. Between the rigorous training, the broad education, the constant oversight by the adjudicator, my colleagues, and sensing Bleeding Mark lurking in the corner all the while, the life of a fate binder is a harder life than most people would expect. I think Tunon does that to his students intentionally. Keep us anxious, guessing, and competitive. Even if we are some of the most respected folk in the Empire, Tunon likes to keep us humble. Like is too strong a word for whatever pale imitation of emotion lurks behind his inscrutable mask. I've gotten this far with Tunon's confidence. Let's see how much farther I can go. Tunon has awarded me an unheard of honour, the opportunity to accompany Kyros' forces in the campaign south. He says that I'm to represent Kyros' law in his savage frontier and pave the way for his civilising hand. I'll have some military authority at my disposal, but Graven Ash and the Voices in the Rat will be the architects of this conquest. Mostly I'll be there to observe the wartime operations and settle any disagreements as they arise. I know that the Southerners will only accept Kyros' peace kicking and screaming, so here's to hoping I can make the transition a smooth one for us all. Oh gosh. Okay. So much reading. In 428 TR, we won an early victory against the border garrison, setting a glorious tone for the war to come. Disfavoured morale was as high as I'd ever seen it. Setting out ahead of the army, I arrived in the bastard city and kept a low profile. The help of a well-connected local gave me exactly what I needed to prepare the city's downfall. With the army on the horizon, I helped the bastard city fall from the inside. I killed the city marshal in a formal duel, demonstrating to the locals that the forces of Kyros would not be easily routed. Separating from the chain of command and worming my way behind enemy lines tested me raw. I lived to see the bastard city fall. This was an important victory, hopefully the first of many. Now that Tunon has established his court in the vacant throne room and summoned other fate binders, he's sending me to accompany the army while he tidies up his new city. Deep breaths, deep breaths. The army is heading for Leafian's Crossing, and I will follow. Tunon places great emphasis on this location, as he wants the Forgebound to make a permanent settlement here. Iron production will make or break this war, as he's fond of telling me. I'll keep an eye on the forges and make sure everything moves at an appropriate pace. I became the de facto governor of Leafian's Crossing in 429 TR, and increasing the production of iron fell to me. I repurposed some Scarlet Chorus refugees to the back-breaking effort of hauling ore for the Forgebound. On top of everything else, my forces had to deal with the city mercenaries. When the Bronze Brotherhood overcrowded the available quarters, I allowed the Brotherhood and the Scarlet Chorus to engage in combat games that eased tensions and spread goodwill among the ranks. After a dust-up with the Bronze Brotherhood... Wait, what? After a dust-up with the... Where am I? I think that's where I am. Bronze Brotherhood injured a forge-bound smith. I kicked the inept mercenaries out of Leafian's Crossing and granted the Scarlet Chorus the honour of governance. Who would have thought that iron production would give us that much trouble? This is why Kyros doesn't deal with mercenaries. Better that a force more sensible and organised than the Bronze Brotherhood command this city. Which really amounts to anyone but the Bronze Brotherhood. Now that I've seen what I can to stabilise our iron production, I'm shrugging off the mantle of the governor and moving on to the last stretch of our conquest. A small detachment of soldiers is making for the Vellum Citadel, a sprawling repository of lore that is so forbidden it would leave Tunon gasping on the floor if he read as much as a shopping list read from the stacks. Can't help but find my curiosity piqued at what, or who I might find there. The sages are said to be more intimidating than they appear, but I suspect that they'll see the wisdom of surrender. In 430 TR, I joined a military detachment to capture the knowledge and resources of the Vellum Citadel. When Legion soldiers killed sages bound to the Scarlet Chorus, I enslaved them as pages to the Archon of Song. Sometimes it got difficult to judge friends from foe. When enemy sages presented themselves as Chorus spies, I had them imprisoned and interrogated with the disfavour to pick through their claims. After the campaign grew divisive and the armies fractured, Kyros granted me the honour of proclaiming the Edict of Fire on the Vellum Citadel. I warned at the sages in advance, giving them a final opportunity to surrender or prepare before laying waste their library. Fortress. Oh god. I didn't realise it was this much. But I need to double down. I've started it now, even though I've lost my place. The siege we brought against the meddlesome spellcasters took more of our small detachment than we had to offer. Tunon may never forgive the setback in our campaign, much less the expenditure of effort it took to force the last of the sages into submission. The Vellum Citadel is now known as the Burning Library. The forbidden lore of the School of Ink and Quill now fuels a victory pyre. Though the sages never formally surrendered, they have been shattered and made irrelevant. Some small solace there. I turn from this troubling chapter of the campaign and orient towards the Bastard City, where my duties in Tunon's court await. Like, I really want to read all this because I think it's going to be interesting for the character. So I think I've read about as much as that. And what I'll do now is, if you're curious about the rest of the biography, just pause it. Just pause and read on your own. So, you know, pause now. I hope you've unpaused, because then you can see the next part, which is the final line. I set out for Vendrian's Well in the morning. I can only hope I have the strength for what is to come.